my name's Adrian. I'm a certified teacher of the Alexander Technique, and I'd just like to show you a few tips today on how to sit at the computer with more ease and poise. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to discuss is the way that the head balances on top of the spine. Now the spine comes all the way here up under the ears, kind of under the level of the nose as well. So it's quite high up. And as it happens, there's actually more of your head forward of that point than behind. So gravity naturally allows the head to bob forward with that weight at the front of the head. And this is good. It causes the neck muscles to release and have length, and encourages the whole back to be long. So gravity is in fact our friend. It helps us actually be upright. Now we tend to go where our attention is. Our attention is in our hands for the keyboard and the computer screen. So if you follow your line of sight towards the screen where you're really interested in what's happening and into your hands, body goes with it. What we'd like to do is bring our attention back so it's wider, so we're not pulled into the screen. So we're more aware of ourselves, but have a wider, softer focus with the eyes, so you have a little awareness of the edges of the screen as well, so you're not just pulled down to a narrow point. Now, you may think Julie sat here, but I like to think she's still standing. And that might seem like an odd thing to say, but she's standing on her sit bones. Now the sit bones are that bottom of your pelvis, that bony part of your bottom that you'll feel when you sit on a hard surface. And if you allow yourself to stand on those, everything else can be poised upwards from there, just as if you were standing. And what we commonly do is slump back and down and collapse against the seat. This I would call collapsing and not sitting at all. So sitting is a dynamic activity and very poised. So I don't like to normally teach from an overly anatomical point of view. If we have too much information, we trip over our own feet. If we use our fingers, we're actually using muscles in our forearm to move them. So you could say, here in the forearm, this is our fingers. To move our forearm takes muscles of the biceps and triceps that you'll be familiar with. And to move the upper arm, keep backtracking into the back. So the muscles of the arm are embedded deep within the back. These are the roots of the arm, all the way down here in fact. So to have a good use of the hands, you have to backtrack all the way and free your neck and back so that freedom can go all the way through. It's just not possible to have a free wrists and hands but tight up here. So if you have carpal tunnel syndrome, it's not just your wrists you want to be concerned with. You want to backtrack and consider the use of your whole back and poise. That's why it's so important to have an integrated back. Now what makes a good chair? Now I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you've ever stood on your sofa, it's very unstable and you can't stand very well on it. The same is true for sitting. Sofas are also very difficult to sit on, which is why you collapse backwards in them. Now I mentioned earlier that we actually stand on our sit bones. So anything you feel you could literally stand on, and I'm not going to get up here to prove a point, but this is a nice flat surface, so I can sit on it well. The same is true for this chair. It may rotate, but that's fine, and a good thing in fact, it's nice to be mobile. But it's still a flat surface. I actually feel there's no need to spend a lot of money on expensive ergonomic chairs. And in fact, there can be a downside to it. The more money you spend on the furniture, the more you hope it will take responsibility for you. And unfortunately, a chair can't take responsibility for you. Only you can do that for yourself. I hope you found this useful.